Don't half-arse on the first date. I walk in, shake the hand. Anal?
Because I haven't got the achievement for beating the game yet.
I think I'm kind of glad, to be fair, because mine always said, like, you know, when you like accidentally mixed up search engines, and so my Spotify just said like busty Asian women. What song is this?
BBC.
BBC, even bigger BC. CP, you don't want to Google that one.
BBW.
No.
BBW. WBC.
BBC, BBW. Interracial. TikTok compilation. What did you say earlier, Joe? Head games or something? What's my head games? What's my... I have no idea. I'm a big businessman now, all right? I ain't got time for no business. Can I get a shout out for my boy Epstein?
Hello and welcome to the album review podcast. Hang on, that's the wrong one.
You fucking idiot.
Hello and welcome to the Recently Played podcast, the podcast where we the podcast where we talk about our recently played games. Clues in the name. Here's... Fuck, I can't do that.
Just in case we can't use the Twitch recording.
Fuck!
We're laughing at the fact that air horns keep going off in Discord.
It's so intrusive, it's ridiculous.
I really like them.
Who would like to go first? Not me. I went first last time. Thank you very much.
I can't remember. Sorry. It was obviously memorable.
I'll go first.
There we go.
Oh, the viewer retention's gone.
This is the price you pay.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
I recently have played The Last of Us Part 1 on PC.
Whoa.
Since it just came out. And I thought this is as good a time as any to replay the series. And
to replay the series.
It runs horribly.
To go for gold.
On non-mega PCs.
Even now?
I think it's because a lot of people had like game-breaking bugs. I didn't really have that necessarily. It took 50 minutes to load the shaders. So even once I'd eventually downloaded the game, I spent 50 minutes waiting because the menu ran at like 14 frames a second. But then amazingly, once the shaders had loaded, it was all right. And it was playable. I don't get me wrong. My PC, it's got only like 2 generation old like processor, motherboard, everything. The only thing that's old is my graphics card, which is 1080 Ti. Which most things I only run 1080p, so I don't have a 4K or 2K. And I can only run. Pardon?
Hey Wilson here.
And I don't have a monitor that can do above 60 hertz. So to me, 60 FPS, 1080 is all I can do. And I couldn't manage that with Last of Us. I was getting like 40, 50 frames a second most of the time on medium settings.
Medium?
And even when I lowered them, I still even when I put them on like the lowest, I still never really got solid 60 without it looking
so it wasn't worth dropping to the lowest settings because it wasn't that much different anyway.
No, it ran playable enough at that. And so I didn't really get the whole like, wow, look how much better it is, because it's been so long since I played Last of Us Remastered.
Yeah.
It kind of
would
just
it have
looks
been our holiday in Durham? That would have been the last time.
Yes, that would have been. So that was what 2020. So that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's the last time I played it as well.
So it kind of just looks like how I remember, or if anything, because obviously we've played Part 2 since then. Even then, that was last played Part 2 was 2020 when it came out.
Boo.
And so it kind of just looks as good as that. And it's just the classic excellent game that it is. I played it on keyboard just for something feeling a bit different, and I feel like it played fine on keyboard and mouse. There is a bit, it does suffer from that problem of like because the interface was built so much around a controller that playing it not on a controller it's just not. They could have redesigned it for PC is what I think they should have done. And what I mean by this is very much so the D-pad selection of like your guns and your equipment. That was all built around the fact that it's the up, left, down, right from a
did you have to do that? Did you have to do that on like your arrow keys on the keyboard?
No.
Or was it like
I wonder if it did actually.
Pardon?
Did you ever try it on them? Maybe it did. Maybe it did it on the little up, down, left, right keys on the far end of the keyboard. Don't get me wrong. Like I remember that you were memeing about it because we were laughing right at the start when Tess gives you the med pack. She's like, "Patch yourself up," and it says "press 7 to heal." We're like, "What?"
So how it does it? And maybe it does work with up, down, left, right, but even then, it's not intuitive because you'd have to completely take your hand off movement to do that.
Or shoot, you know. Like
how it does it is so mouse wheeling can take you the up and down,
right
mouse scroll, and side to side is numbers because obviously you got your 2 long guns, 2 short guns. That's numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, respectively.
I know that makes sense in terms of up and down, but I think I would have much rather have had the scrolly wheel be the weapon select rather than the.
Yes, that's what I kept doing all the time. Like, don't get me wrong. PC games are completely customizable. So I could have probably bound it that way, but I kind of just left it all default.
Bind all the buttons to space.
So like by default, it literally does assign 1 to 4 as your guns, and then all the
just spins and shoots the floor. Get him, Joel. Yes! Come on!
It's like
he's been waiting for that.
Joe's hovered over that fucking button for 15 minutes. Waiting for it.
And then obviously you've got all your like med kits and equipment, and it's literally just 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 is what those are.
All right, that kind of makes sense. But like you say, like it's kind of awkward to do that while in combat type of thing.
Yeah, to remember the right fucking one. Don't get me wrong. It's an easy fix. You could just say, just play on a controller.
But it would be nice
if
when you have to go in your backpack and swap a weapon, you know, right at the start of the game when you don't have all the holsters and stuff.
I can't remember what it was to.
You just press like 1 or whatever, and then you hold down whatever the inventory button is, I guess,
Yeah,
or like hold click or something.
I'm not sure if it's tab.
Might be.
But like, so certain things are quite unintuitive. So like. Pressing the shoot button to reload, but then they don't tell you this, but they have also made R reload. But the game doesn't tell you this; it just says like press click to reload, like the game does.
Oh, how sneaky of them, Neil Druckmann! You've done it again, you saucy bitch.
But an interesting thing they have had to add to it is so for clickers when you sneak, and you find this in quite a few games that have this problem, where on a controller you would just push the analog stick less, right, to move. Like to go slower. You don't have that option on a PC. It's 100% or nothing. So how they've got around this is they've added a sneak button. So if you hold control while moving, it automatically goes at the maximum speed you can go while still be sneaking.
Yeah, sure.
Rather than just sort of like, oh, don't push it anymore. All they can hear is slow down a bit, slow down. No, it's just hold a button while moving and it'll go slow.
I think that's why I'm drawn to keyboard more. I'm definitely more of an 100% or nothing kind of guy. Like when I go into a shop and go get some milk, I always hold the store up as well at the same time, you know, like mask on. It was especially prevalent in COVID when you had the mask on and then you were like, all right. And then you put the same mask back on. Give me your money. And then they'd never know what to do there. So you'd always get them there. And that's what I mean. I'm 100% or nothing, you know. Don't half-arse on the first date. I walk in, shake the hand. Anal?
Well, thing is, you got to make it clear. You've got to
set your boundaries immediately. You immediately do. You say, "Can I touch your hand?" You handshake. Anal.
Just let your intentions known.
Be clear from the first minute.
I'm going to be honest. If this doesn't go well, I'm going to try and climb through the window in the bathroom. And you'll be left with a bill.
I mean, I'll be honest, Denver. Just playing it on keyboard sounds like a pain. Like
it does. Like I'd just so rather just play it on controller.
Literally.
How it was made to be played, type of thing.
Did you really commit to it the entire time?
Different, guys. Come on, man.
Different.
No, but it was only that. It's because, put it this way, I played it with the keyboard and mouse so that the game felt different to play because it's a game I've already completed like five times before.
Yeah.
Like,
what was the aiming
it's the
like?
same.
Could you be super fucking accurate?
Aim was fine. You didn't need any. This is the thing. By default, it puts aim assist on even with a controller. So I just turned all the aim assists off. So that's like another big difference. You can play it without aim assist. Whereas
I didn't even know there was aim assist.
I was going to say, you probably don't realize, but the Last of Us games defaultly have aim assist on.
Well,
unless you're playing on like grounded.
Not for me.
And even then, when you play on ground, I don't think you can turn it on grounded, but you can like the one difficulty above that. Yeah, Last of Us, almost every controller game ever has aim assist on, just to varying degrees.
So playing on crisis about his COD days.
So
I wasn't as good as I thought I was.
Playing it on keyboard and mouse
Xbox was helping me the whole time.
Gives you that, because playing without aim assist on controllers just aids half the time. But so I enjoy that. It's the same thing I want to do with Uncharted eventually. I basically just want to get the Uncharted game on PC just to give me one, get to replay it again, and two, it'll be a little bit different by playing it on keyboard and mouse rather than controller for that little bit different experience.
Do you remember the Master Chief Collection on PC when we played the online for that a little bit? And to counteract the keyboard players just being better, they added like the most insane aim assist.
And it stopped me playing the game.
Yeah, because it was so ridiculous. It was like fucking tracking people through walls, just slowing down your aim on their head. Like it was fucking insane. Yeah, it was crazy. Like
they should have just not made it cross-platform, or like. Maybe they should have, but then maybe they've updated now. It's been like out fucking 2 years.
I feel like games should just do like a thing where like a lot of people play on PC with controller, and I feel like there's enough there. Like for example, Call of Duty. I feel like there's enough people who are going to play it on PC with a controller that they could just make lobbies for controllers only and for keyboard users only, and I feel like that would just solve the problem immediately.
Yeah. It's just some games haven't, like, maybe Master Chief Collection has done that now, but at least when we played it, they didn't. And I remember I even switched to controller playing that game, but then it'd been so long since I played a controller, I was terrible. So, like, even with the aim assist, I still wasn't beating, like, the PC version of myself, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So even if I was, say, average PC, a shit console player could beat me, but then me on a console was even shitter than that. So it just wasn't fun, but so played that, and now I've just started part 2 on PS5 because it's not on actually it's not even a PS5 version, is it? It never actually got updated.
No, it did get an update. It got a 60 frames update.
Right, I think that was it, because it still classes it as the PS4 version.
It does, because I think when it first came out on the PS4 you could only play it in 30 frames. And then when they brought it out in PS5, they brought out an update, so it would support 60 frames a second.
God, when are they going to bring out factions?
Oh yeah, and that's another thing actually came on.
Yes, go on.
I cummed on an idea.
Lovely.
Wait.
How did you know my child's name was idea?
Playing part 2, and just the feel of part 2. We're not going to get into the story or anything like that, or writing.
You better fucking know.
We're not going to get anywhere there. But where I'm going to say is the fucking just gameplay loop and the AI is so good.
Yeah, it is.
That I'm like,
AI is so good.
If this was in a multiplayer, like exactly how we've talked about previously, if the factions is like a Tarkov style, you've got to go out, get supplies for your camp.
Yes.
Get resources and stuff against AI and other people, it could be phenomenal. Because that just core loop and the feel and the grittiness of all the shooting and like just there's no other game I feel like it that even though the game doesn't look realism, right? It's not realism really. It's kind of got a style, right? Like I'd say it looks really good, but it doesn't look photoreal.
No.
The Last of Us games.
I think it's very close, but like you say, it has that kind of.
It's
style.
got an edge to it, like
yeah.
But that feeling you get, like say when you shoot someone at a distance, and the way they react, and the way like the gore is like fucking perfect. Like it makes it feel so weighty to everything.
Everything is meaty in that game. Like both games, everything's fucking meaty.
That like
brutal and everything connects. You know what I mean? You know, it's like the classic Fallout thing where like you shoot someone in Fallout, they just carry on running. You're like you haven't shot them. But like everything in Last of Us, every fucking hit, either on yourself or on someone else, you know what I mean? It connects and it feels like it connects. Whereas I don't think any game has mastered that as much as Last of Us has.
And it's just like, and then like even when you're playing it single player, obviously it's only single player, and you're like going around collecting resources, but it's just for obviously your crafting. But you can see how they could then incorporate that into more, and it's just like,
And it keeps that same
so
factions feel as well, because that's what factions was all about, was just going and getting enough supplies. But they could like make that so much better.
Although haven't they like alluded that it's not called factions? They just called it The Last of Us multiplayer. Someone said like, "Oh, what's Factions 2?" And he was like, "It's just Last of Us multiplayer."
Well, did Neil say that?
Yeah, he like corrected someone who called it Factions 2.
Yeah, what a bell end. Just let him believe, you know. The whole John Wick franchise is based off Keanu calling it John Wick because he couldn't remember the name of it. It was supposed to be called like Scorn or something like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then
he just kept going, "Oh, it's great, the John Wick movie," and they're like, "Fuck it, John Wick."
Yeah.
So let him call it Factions, Neil. You fucking pompous ass prick.
Playing through part.
Sorry, Wilsonator says he looks so different. And controller is always better.
Is always better. Ooh.
Controversial opinion. I'd probably agree, to be honest. Like, fuck it. Why not?
I think it's always better for third person. But I think
mostly better for most things, really.
It is, but it depends. Like,
yeah, I would always say now, like first person games are just
for shoot, like
on a fucking keyboard and mouse.
I think it's just because of the whole art. It's an extension of your arm. You're like instead of like thumbing it. Sorry, you're physically moving your whole arm. But then leagues above that is VR, not just the better keyboard and mouse. You're physically there. You're looking down the thing to shoot stuff.
I think first person keyboard and mouse, third person is always 100% controller. I don't think I could ever get used to a third person on keyboard.
Change it up a bit more. Any like XCOM style game or strategy game is fucking AIDS on a controller.
Yeah.
No,
big time.
Anything with a lot of menus.
Anything
imagine like playing Football Manager on a controller.
Oh, what's that game that you play, Aidan? Inscription. Can you imagine playing that on a controller?
No, I could imagine playing that on a controller. I feel like that could be built to be played on a controller.
Yeah, there's not many options to pick there.
Yeah, like that's not the one. Even Slay the Spire already has it's got a tablet release, like mobile stuff. Like that's how simple that is.
It's good on mobile.
Supposed to be.
Imagine playing FIFA though, keyboard and mouse. That is horrendous.
Oh, God.
Imagine playing FIFA on the tablet and you're tapping on the player where you want the ball to go, and 90% of the time you tap it, it just sends it downwards across the fucking thing.
That's no difference playing it on controller.
Exactly, that's
really
what I mean.
need to do that controller test, Aidan, where it shows you what the inputs it's getting. And then you have to decide, you find out your controller.
Yeah, I bet it would be. I 100% think it genuinely would. The amount of times I've tried to bang it in the net and it's been like, yeah, no, this way.
Because I had that on my other computer. I was playing like F1 22 or something. Oh, God, I'm yawning. And I was like, why am I struggling? Like, I could just never make certain corners. Or like, I could see the driver's hand like doing this, like twitching about. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And it was only when turning left.
And that's your F1 daily dose, Denver.
Yeah, you know how to speak about that.
I went on these browser extension thing, and it shows you like the inputs it's getting, and like I could do like half the circle on the analog stick, fine, and the other half it was just like it just like couldn't get the input. So, whereas I was using that same control on FIFA for ages, never noticed because I just thought it's just FIFA.
Just FIFA.
It's true. I think, but like, it's easy to assume that with FIFA just because it's arguably one of the most poorly made games ever made, and anybody that it works at EA should. Well, I don't want to say like unalive yourself, but it's just reconsider. You know,
not entirely. They made Star Wars Fallen Order and Battlefront 2.
Well, that was the Respawn team, and they made Apex. So.
Yeah, but Battlefield.
Who is the developer who makes FIFA? Like, I know it's EA, but like which
EA
developer?
Sports.
It's in the game.
Is it EA Sports?
I think it's in the game, guys.
I think it is in the game.
Did they announce what the new one's called? Is it just EA Football?
It's actually called Last of Us Factions. The name's not taken anymore, so they just nabbed it.
No, what was that fucking? What's that
remastered.
zombie game that they claim is delayed because the name
the day
got nabbed?
before? Yeah,
the day before.
What bunch of bullshit.
Stinker, absolute stinker.
Not that they'd fucking use the Last of Us title anyway.
Yeah, literally.
Wilson says mainly because I've never used keyboard and how would it be awful with that?
Yeah,
it's
I
definitely a
thought
learning curve, but I think it just the more you do it, it just becomes kind of more natural.
I find the aiming's not too bad. For me, it's the movement that I find difficult because it's
whole,
so
like,
natural on a
absolute-
controller. Yeah, exactly. That's what
I
I
never
find
thought
really
of the
hard to
hybrid.
use.
Oh, well, like half
Where
controller,
you have the
half
controller
keyboard.
in your left hand, but aim.
But aiming
People,
with the
people
keyboard.
do that, like
Yeah.
legit.
Well, you can literally get them. What do they call them?
Joystick.
They're literally like
Children.
it's like a keyboard, but it has an analog stick in it. It's for your left hand. It's literally for this exact thing. So it's got like 9 buttons on the top of it, and then analog sticks on the side. What an analog stick? Have you never seen these?
No.
Sounds cool though.
I think,
I can't remember what they call it, but it's literally for this
I've
exact
seen the
thing.
big ones that like the autistic children use with a massive ball on the side where they're like. Ooh.
I wonder if Razer still do them because I feel like they didn't. Oh yeah, they still do them.
That's what they do. It's
I
not a
don't know
real
how
mouse, is it? They're not allowed real mouses. They eat them.
it's the noise you made.
I don't know
I've
how
just-
to
I've linked
convey
it in
trying
the-
to push a ball while missing a chromosome. I'm sorry.
Oh my god!
I don't know what to tell you, lad.
Fuck's sake.
Oh, I have seen one of those, Denver.
So it's
Yeah.
got an analog stick on the side and a bunch of buttons at the top.
What's this?
That-
my
that's
laptop
really
is not
cool.
built for games at all. So even if I wanted, I couldn't play PC games. All I have on it is Football Manager, Shell Shock, and Civ 5. Civ 5, though, the GOAT.
There's
The absolute GOAT of strategy games.
Uh,
Don't ever play with Michael, but great game.
save for a PC, it'll change your life. PC Master Race.
Saying that though, PC's just so expensive now, isn't it?
It
compared
is,
to a
but it's
console?
just so much better.
It's
I don't
only
know
going to
if it
get
is these
it's only
days.
going to get better and more expensive, realistically.
Like,
Games
I
are way
prefer- you get
cheaper.
s-
You've got way more selection of
You
games.
say that, but you get so much value now out of like PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah,
You
but it's
do.
not like there's not as many games. Like you can't
Well,
go and
this
play all
is
the
not-
old games.
Luckily now, like most exclusives are eventually getting a PC port anyway,
True.
and Game Pass is on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the same Game Pass.
It's true, it's not. It
It's
is
worse.
significantly cut down on the PC.
But
version.
Xbox is
Yeah,
pretty decent.
but Xbox doesn't have really many exclusives
Like-
that I really
Mm-mm.
want to play.
Like, who the fuck even wants to play Halo? Honestly, can suck my
Like
ass.
I don't know.
It's bought
like, being a
everything. There's
kid
going to be
now-
loads.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
Bethesda. now, though.
the Bethesda games, and that's about it.
Yeah, but
I don't
it's
know
actually
if I
bought Call
was-
of Duty now, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
not
that's
going
still
to be
going to be on both
exclusive.
consoles.
But it's bought more than just these. I feel like it's bought loads, and I've forgotten what they are, to be honest.
I feel like though, if the way like PlayStation is now existed for me, like not 10 years ago, because that's when I got a PC, but let's say like 15 years ago, I'd have probably never even got into PC because there's so many PC games that are now on console, and for like £100 a year, you can get a shit ton of games.
Nah,
Yeah,
bro,
but it
honestly,
completely
it's-
secludes a game type from you as well. Like, you wouldn't want to play your civs and stuff on, or your football managers. And
No, but
you're
how
clicking
often are
point
you like
games.
daily gaming
depends
do you
what-
play those games?
Depends what
And
type of
also
games you
depends
like.
who you are. Like, if you're 50 years old, yeah, you're gonna want to play shit like that, aren't you? Like, if you're 50 years old, you're gonna want to play like Europa Universalis 4 or whatever, or like
And just
other
skip half
boring
the
shit.
info.
Just not play anything fun.
Mm.
Why don't you play? What is it? What did we play? That free game, Heroes and Generals or whatever.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
It's always the 50-year-olds that are going on them like Milsim games, acting like they've still got PTSD, like hitting the fucking wall like it's real.
The guy at my
Honestly,
work literally plays the like just mobile on his phone all the time. Just his mobile just tapping on things all day.
but he's. I bet he doesn't even know. I bet it's just giving him fucking endorphins. It's just flashing in his face, and he's like, "Oh yes, I really."
And occasionally he's like, "Oh, last month at the tournament, I ranked 3rd in the UK."
Yeah,
It's
third
like,
in the UK of what, mate? You've just clicked the same button like 19 times. What are you doing? Nah, honestly, I kind of love it though. I love the veterans and stuff that play the Milsim games. Like, I've been playing Insurgency Sandstorm, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, hearing someone just have like a fucking episode on the other end of the mic because an explosion went off. Like, they are going fucking nuts. Barbara
that
is
review?
happening again.
Do you remember we read that review on Hunt Showdown before, where this guy was like, "I'm terrible at this, but I fucking love it," and he's got
Oh,
like
yeah,
2,000
bless him.
hours in it.
He was like, I can't compete with the young gamers, so I sit in a corner with a shotgun and wait for people to come in. And I was like, that would be me if I was in redneck America and I had nothing else to do. Come in, you fucks! Try me!
And then that's mainly
Forgot to take my schizophrenic pills, and my imaginary friend walks through the door. Blam! Got him.
that's mainly all I've played, other than Hades still, but I haven't played as much Hades now. I finally beat one playthrough of Hades for the first time after 44 attempts. Thank you, Joe. But
That's perfect.
It really
the
was.
game is
Yeah.
the game is actually designed to because I haven't got the achievement for beating the game yet. So it's
You're such a fucker, you.
so
Oh,
I think you have to like beat it several times at least, but so fuck knows how long it's gonna take, because I feel like I was so lucky to beat it in the first place, because I'm just not good enough at these kind of games that I need like some super lucky OP build. Like, the only reason I beat it that first time is because one of like the abilities I got meant that one of the attacks on this gun I had did 300% damage. But it could deal damage to myself. That was like the payoff. So I just had to stay out the way of my own like explosive radius.
Radius, yeah, sure.
And I was fine. But I got to a point where I was fairly consistently getting to the final boss, no matter what I had. But it was just always beating him. But yeah, so I'll probably still keep going back to that and be still talking about that next month.
One question.
That's
What about Mudrunner?
Yeah, I haven't played any more Mudrunner.
Oh.
Mainly because I was doing one of the challenges and it was really fucking dark, and it was like, oh, well, to do a challenge, you can't do it in the day, or you can't, or it had to be in first person or something. And then my trucks got stuck, and I'm just like,
The challenges are really quick, though.
yeah, if you do them, you're not a fucking retard like I am.
Whoa, he just throws out the R word.
Because if you say the nighttime thing, you can literally just change it to nighttime by pressing a button.
Yeah, I know, but you can't switch it out of nighttime.
No, but you need to do it all in nighttime anyway.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what
I
I
didn't,
Am I
I didn't know it
confused?
went. No, the nighttime issue wasn't because it might become day. It was just because it's fucking dark.
Oh, so you just couldn't see.
What? The nighttime issue wasn't, oh, it might become day.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they run out of
because
time.
if-
So he has to
if
complete the
Vampires
challenge.
be like,
Because the challenge was to do it at night, but I wasn't ever really worried of it becoming daytime. The time wasn't the issue.
the fact that you couldn't see.
It was just-
It was the
dark,
fact you
yeah.
couldn't see that was your
So-
issue.
There is a brightness setting.
You may not have heard of this, though. There's something in the game called brightness and gamma.
I get it.
And I
It's
believe-
painful when it's nighttime.
I believe gamma's the thing that got into the Hulk that made him big and green.
It is.
So maybe I'll go back to it maybe I won't. But I'm just loving playing Hades at the moment. So
Awesome.
I just keep on
you
that.
Just got to enjoy it, man.
Wholesome.
Aidan.
Awesome.
Yeah, Aidan,
You
you
don't-
go
yeah,
because you're always
you
last
don't
and you never
dictate
get
this.
to. You never
I think
get to speak.
I think
about
that's
it
how
at
it
all.
works.
Well,
You
yeah,
get to
but
nominate.
ironically, this time I don't really have a lot to say
No?
because I haven't been playing a lot because it's hard being me now. Now that I'm a multi-millionaire philanthropist on GTA, of course.
I was going to say we can do a joint one on this.
All I've fucking done is sweat out GTA. And Will could say we've done a joint one. But about halfway through the month, and forgive me for saying this, he fell off, Will fell off.
I've been busy, lad.
He fell off, lad. So I kept that hustle up. I kept that grind. And you know what? I don't know why I did it, because none of it means anything when we die.
It's all for the heist.
I'm putting real hours into this game. So a lot of things have happened. A lot of them I didn't want to say because Will's not even on after this, so it just kind of ruins the surprise.
I'm there tomorrow.
I've invested a lot in properties, I'm a big investor now. Got a 401k. Don't even know what that means. What did you say earlier, Joe? Head games or something? What's my head games? What's my... I have no idea. I'm a big businessman now, all right? I ain't got time for no business. That was it.
Big overheads.
Huge head.
He said, Joe, I've made a net profit. And I was like,
I have made a net profit.
I was like, look at you talking all businessy. And I was like, what are your overheads? He was like, what the fuck are head games, man?
What's an overhead? I thought that's what Harry Maguire does to kick in his own net. Fuck off.
Oh, did you... no, carry.
What, were you going to try and derail the topic?
He forgot that we was
yeah.
podcasting for a second. Then.
I did, yeah. I was going to talk about West Ham and how he scored the worst.
He still had to get it in. I was going to talk about proceeds.
Well, you brought it up, okay?
Anyway, it's hard being weighed down with the burden of money in the game. Like, I don't even know what to spend it on anymore. So I'll let you in on a few exploits that I've been doing, Got a nightclub now. I call it Crystal Palace. Up the Palace. It's where it all is. No Leeds people allowed, especially after we smashed them. Fuck off.
Yes, you did.
Yes, we did. Leeds are going down.
So are Chelsea.
I then made an investment into an auto shop. And that's come back pretty lucrative, I may add. I bought it for about 3 million. It's already made me a net profit overhead something of 4.3 million. So that's nice. I've already made that back. Further investments. I bought an acid truck. So I sell acid now to unsuspecting people. Personally, I like dropping it off outside of primary schools in Kinder Eggs in America. I'm the sole reason why they had to ban them. Not because they were dangerous, because, guns are dangerous. But, never really understood that, actually. Can we talk about that? Time to get political. They banned Kinder Eggs, yet children are still being shot in schools.
What?
Yeah, they're not bothered about that.
They
banned Kinder Eggs ages ago. They were like, it's too dangerous for kids.
What,
because there's a plastic ball
in America? In America. No, it's still legal in England. Have you not seen that video of the kids on Christmas and they open it and there's a Kinder Egg and they're like, I'm not allowed this.
What, is that because of the plastic ball?
Yeah, because children just kept swallowing them. I swear to God, children in America, they're built different. They are.
Well, they had the whole Tide Pod thing, didn't they? Where
they did.
They just look so delicious.
They did. Sorry, Wilson. It says, "Can we not talk about football?" Still recovering from Sunday. It was an embarrassment. Yes, it was.
It was
Spurs.
horrendous.
What happened, lads?
Fucking. I know I can't say much at the minute, but fucking.
West Ham, however, on some stunning run of form at the moment.
Certainly are.
So
we'll just tie this back to FIFA at the end or something, so it'll all make sense.
Oh, by the way, Wolves are playing Crystal Palace right now.
Oh, are they? Who's winning?
Wolves.
Fuck off. Get my boy Schlupp on. He'll sort you out.
We're 1-0 up. Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, so Crystal Palace, that's turning a nice little profit. I've got all my businesses interconnected in there. And then I was sitting there. I don't want to do a mini flex because me and Will have been poor for a long time on that game.
So long.
But I hit the 7 million mark. And I was like, what do I do with this now?
You did not buy a yacht. You bought a fucking yacht, didn't you?
So I didn't buy a yacht because they don't do
God.
anything. But I'll tell you what I did do. We've had this dream, me and Will. If you picture this, I'm George, he's Lenny. Because of course he is. He doesn't make any money like I do. So he just works the fields and breaks the hands and kills the women. Meanwhile, me, I'm up there making big core decisions, going to the whorehouses and stuff. And I was like, what is one thing that Will's wanted from the beginning because he fucked up and bought a really cheap one at the top of the map? So I may have invested a small amount of 4 million in an arcade in the city.
Fuck you. 4 million? Is that just on upgrading it and everything?
Oh, yeah, it looks stunning inside.
Oh.
And I've started buying cabinets as well, which is nice. There's a little thing you could do in there. You could buy a load of cabinets and stuff, and it ups your revenue. I like the passive income properties. They're nice. So yeah, I got one of those. It's really cool. I can't wait till you guys come on and see it at some point. It's great, and I'm gonna do the Diamond Casino heist, so I'll keep you updated on that one. Big fan of the heists and stuff.
Whoa.
I like robbing people and in the game. But what I kind of wanted to speak about is there's been a lot of gaming news just in general recently. I don't know if any of you guys, you've almost certainly seen the body cam footage game thing, which everybody thought was a complete hoax because there's no way it could look like that.
That is actually the game.
But it turns out it's a real thing. And I don't know if you've seen this, Will. If you don't, I would look it up or maybe something
Jack
after.
Frags did a video on it.
Jack Frags did a video.
Our guy, Jack Frags.
Is it like, it looks like it's a VR game?
No, it looks real.
Yeah,
it does
it's
look
like
like a
VR,
VR
but
game.
real. Like,
it's like
so
a
you're
real
moving
body
around
cam
like proper. Yeah. I think
Basically,
I've seen one video on it.
The only reason that looks real is because of the animations, because they put that fucking fisheye filter thing on it to make it.
He's spraying all the Jack Frag things.
Yeah. That's the
only Well, I just wanted to hear what you guys thought about it because I saw it and I was like, "There's no way this is real." And then it turns out it was real, and I was like, "Well, I sit corrected."
It's one of those that the animations are so sporadic and so realistic. Like, to play that on a controller or a keyboard and mouse just looks like it would feel awkward. Like, it looks like it would just work better in a VR. It just looks awkward to play as a game.
I think I agree with you there. I genuinely do. I think that it would be one of those. It ties a little bit back to I've been playing a little bit of Insurgency Sandstorm recently. And in COD, you've got like the reticule or whatever. Like Insurgency Sandstorm's a bit more of a mill sim kind of thing. So when you fire while not aiming down the sight or anything like that, or you've been running or you're not crouching, that shit is fucking sporadic. And it looks like if it was through a tiny fisheye lens from the body, it would probably look very similar to the footage that you saw from the thing.
Yeah.
Because like the bullets just go fucking everywhere. You run into a room and there's like an insurgent stood in the corner. And you're like, fuck off. It's great. I love it. No,
I think it's one of those. I think it's a bit of a gimmick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe they'll actually have full-on fleshed out stuff in it. I just don't see it happening. I see it being such a gimmick, and like it gets that wow, look how real it looks because it's very like blurred. Like all the animations are like super fast, so you almost don't really see what the fuck's happening. And like when they shoot his gun, it kind of just the haze of the gun kind of covers what he's really shooting at. It does the whole fisheye lens. They blur the faces, so it's like body cam footage.
It looks like a finely good Kane and Lynch game.
I heard someone say that. I don't know if it was on the Jack Frags video.
It was me. I said that right now.
Did you?
Just now.
It depends what the gameplay loop's going to be like.
Exactly. I think that's it. And I think the thing is like when we were like, I don't know, 13, 14, like that type of age, like all the new Call of Duties or Battlefields were like, oh my god, look how realistic it looks, type of thing. I don't feel like that's as important as it was 10 years ago.
Oh, not at all.
Like I feel like now everyone just wants a decent fucking game.
It's because we're almost there now, aren't we? Like we're almost as photorealistic as you can get. Almost like 10 years from now, every game will be able to be photorealistic if they want it to be.
Yeah. Like you say, the gimmick was back then like making games look good. Like the Order 1886 was just like a tech demo of something that looks fucking incredible.
And it still looks incredible now.
Still looks great now, yeah. But like what I'm saying is like as Joe said, it's like it's like a gimmick.
It's
like,
just not important anymore.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't. Like look at what is it, Returnals or whatever the fuck it was called. Like that looks
fucking particle
like
effect
it looked
simulator.
Fantastic, but like nobody gave a fuck about it. Everyone said it was boring as shit.
Yeah, and it was. I played it, and
You played the demo, yes?
No, I played it. I bought it and played it.
You
I think it's
fucking
free on
idiot.
PlayStation
You
What game's
fucking
that?
idiot.
And
Did
Returnal.
you not Returnal? Did you
Oh.
not remember that one?
Yeah,
Joe
but some
kept
people
calling it
really
the
like
Doctor
that.
Strange game.
Oh no, you're on about Forspoken.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I was gonna say I played the demo of Forspoken. And it was shit.
Yeah.
It looked really
people
good.
like
Like I said, it was just like Doctor Strange the game
Yeah.
type of thing. But and it kind of was, but it was shit.
Apparently
Because-
the dialogue was horrendous.
It was really cringy in the demo. But like, I
Oh,
said,
we're
other
talking
than
about
that,
Last of Us 2 again, are we? Cool. All right.
But yeah, sorry, Aidan. This is your thing. I've kind of just gone.
No, it's fine. Like genuinely, I was just talking about, as I say, just like new games and stuff. I just wanted to bring up some of the things. There's another thing, but I've completely forgotten it now, so I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, no, I'm really sorry. I've basically completely forgotten. I had like 3 examples of new stuff that was like coming, or like it's been a bit controversial or something, but I've genuinely forgotten them all. Should have written them down, but that's the price I pay for being a multi-millionaire philanthropist on GTA. I'm too good for paper and pen now. You know?
Damn
I
straight.
drive fast cars and loose women and BBWs and BBCs.
Who are you going to nominate?
I don't give a fuck.
Jerry, you can go because you've got more to say than I have.
No.
No.
Well, I've played 2 games, but one I'm going to mention very briefly, and the other one I want to talk about the most. So obviously, every month we're trying to tick off a new game, me and my partner. To introduce
Dave.
her, so for those who haven't seen previous, my girlfriend's not a gamer girl, but we're trying to introduce her to the wide variety of games, which are mostly horror games, because that's what she likes.
Just carry on.
Anyway, so trying to introduce my girlfriend to a wide variety of games, most of them being horror games, and me and my partner are crossing off the next game in our list. And now I did promise last month that it was going to be God of War Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Funny. Let's go.
Mistake every time. Someone clap him.
God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, hang on, I got that.
Thank you.
Thank you. But but we changed our mind because we were like, we just want to play something quick this time because we're playing very long games. Well, I don't know, very long games. They're quite short games actually. But we were like, fuck it. Why don't we try out the Dead Space remake? Because I remember loving Dead Space 2. I never played Dead Space 1. I thought, why not do this, something that both of us haven't played, a bit like Bioshock, and enjoy it. And goddamn, it's one of the best games I've played in a long time. It is it is so fucking good. And they have, like, graphically, atmospherically, I feel like it's a game that's nailed atmospherical horror in terms of nothing's actually really that scary, but it always has you tense. Like, you always know something might jump out at you or something might get you. And it's difficult enough to the point where you should be scared of every enemy. And it's just fucking great. The story is really good as well. I won't spoil anything about the story for those who haven't played it. But, you know, Isaac Clarke looking very different to Isaac Clarke in Dead Space 2.
Isaac Clarke looking like a
bit of a baby
50-year-old
boy.
virgin.
It looks like a baby. Like, fully shit. A bit like how Denver looks right
No, I was
now.
going to say, like, it must be an engineer thing.
Engineer.
Must be. But yeah, really good story. And I didn't, obviously I've gone and looked at reviews, and a lot of the reviewers said because in the original, Isaac never spoke. He was more of a
He's
silent
a voiceless
protagonist.
character,
Whereas in this, he's got full dialogue. And I know they redid all the dialogue and everything. And
They redid it all.
a lot
Impressive.
of people,
They redid it.
some scenes are completely different.
All right, Isaac, go.
There's like new parts of the game, and anyway. So I looked, and one of the reviewers I saw who was reviewing the game was saying that it actually ruined it, him having the dialogue there. Like, he preferred it without the Isaac being a silent protagonist, but obviously I don't have that to compare to. I just thought all the dialogue was fucking brilliant.
It's that whole, like, where some games have it where, like, oh, but it's you. You imagine your character speaking back to them,
Yeah.
which to me, it just seems like a lazy thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I can kind of understand it in like an RPG where you're making a character.
Yeah.
Because often you only have like a few voices to pick from. And if none of those are kind of the vibe you want, I could understand why someone might want a voice.
This is
character.
literally Isaac's story. Yeah, exactly.
And he has a voice in the second game. So
so it completely makes sense for him to have a voice. And I really hope they remake the Dead Space 2. Holly, my partner, really loved it. It was the scariest one we've played for her, and I never thought Dead Space was that of a scary game, but this one hit her hard. Like, she was spooking at everything. Like, she'd walk in a room and see a table, and she would like just think everything is like the fucking limbs on the necromorph, and like anything that kind of like looked a bit limmy, she was like
like a lampshade.
Like a lampshade.
Yeah, loads of
like
those on the spaceship.
Anything like that. She was scared, and it was we had a really fun time together on it. And it's nice. It's like a bonding experience, isn't it?
Can't relate.
So I don't know why I had to do that as well. That kind of looked a bit creepy. But yeah,
make us whole, Isaac.
Holly rated it a 9 out of 10.
Jesus.
So she really liked it. At the start, she was like, "It's not as good as Bioshock," and it grew on her. The more we played it.
Is the story better than 2? Because I didn't like the story in 2 personally.
I would say 2's more of a better game. I would say this Dead Space 1 had a better story.
Is the story more understandable?
Dead Space 2 story is fantastic.
It is good.
No.
It is good. It is
one
really
reason
good,
it's awful.
The ending is just so shit and
hard
confusing.
to follow.
It's insanely hard to follow.
I don't know though. Have you played Dead Space 1, Will? Because I feel like not playing Dead Space 1 really makes Dead Space 2 confusing. And
I can't remember Dead Space 1's story.
And Dead Space 1 kind of clears a lot of stuff up that they just kind of throw at you in Dead Space 2 and expect you to know.
I don't know if I'm just an idiot, but I feel like all the Dead Spaces have a real, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Shall we use a fancy one? They have a real penchant for making things confusing for no apparent reason. Yeah, I bet you like that, didn't
fucking
you?
mean?
Not a clue, but I feel like it was used in the right context.
I feel like the story isn't confusing. It's more...
No, it's the reason why you're doing the stuff that you're doing.
It's the reason
why...
So
they're like, we need to get off this planet. Got it, no worries. Isaac, go into the belly of this monster. Fucking what?
Dead Space 1 has definitely a more, obvious reason. Like, you're just like, right, we need to go off this ship. But the only way we're going to do it is by repairing the ship. Isaac, go repair the entire ship.
Yeah. Like, it makes sense. Like,
yeah.
It's for me, it's not what you're doing that doesn't make sense. I feel like that's fine. It's always, to me, why are the characters making these fucking stupid choices? Like, mainly the villains. Why are they like this? They're just like... The reasons for the choices of making these like fucking necromorphs are just fucking stupid. It's the exact same problem in Callisto Protocol. It's like people willing to sacrifice humanity, basically, just for like unlimited free power.
Yeah.
Like the cost of everyone dying for this thing, it's just not worth it. And there's always a catch, but they just drive to it no matter what. And
almost
I would never say like it's stellar.
Last of Us Part 2. How you're forced to watch these characters do stupid things for no apparent reason, instead of just furthering their goal like you do in the first game.
Hold on, I think that deserves a.
Thank you. Come on, yeah.
There you go.
No, but I still think it's okay.
I think bringing it back to The Last of Us, though, this is...
No, let's not fucking go back to The Last of Us.
Let's keep going.
I'm fucking leaving.
I've got a good...
Let's go, double down.
I've got a good point. And that's the fact that it really pissed me off when Last of Us the remake, and they started going, rebuilt from the ground up for PS5, which was bullshit. And then you get games... And then you get games like the Dead Space remake that is literally rebuilt from the ground up. Like,
I think
completely
that is
remade.
a perfect example
And-
of an actual full remake. of
Yeah,
something.
exactly. And like the Resident Evil remakes that have recently come out, actually rebuilt from the ground up. Whereas Last of Us just put a fucking new skin on and called it a
Last
day.
of Us is just a cash grab because
It really is at this point.
like the game was already remastered in 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still glad they did it because I fucking love Last of Us.
And
But
like it doesn't look that bad.
this Dead Space 1 remake is a perfect example of how a remake should be done. And I
there
would
should be, like,
recommend anyone to play it.
A
It's amazing.
question, do you reckon, like, at the end, like, what would be a game that you would fully remake from the ground up just to see how it would come out? Like, if you were to change something, like, completely, sort of
I don't think we've been playing games long enough to do that because, like, and by this I mean like, so Dead Space that came out like 2006, 2007. So like, there's been such a long time where rebuilding it makes sense. I feel like a lot of the games,
Jak and Daxter remakes. Let's go.
Like-
Well, I was going to throw out the PS1 Bob the Builder game that I've brought up before. I would like to see that remade from the ground up.
But other than that, I feel like this has the best trophies I've seen in a very long time in a game.
Don't
I
turn
don't know
them
whether
like
they-
that.
Them the
And I-
froths at the mouth.
And I don't know whether they reused the original trophies. I don't know. I haven't looked, but I've just pulled a few up here because it's actually a fucking solid platinum. So you have to play through the game, by the looks of it, at least 3 times to do it, because you have to play it on every difficulty. There's a trophy for beating the entire game just with the plasma cutter,
I bet that'd be fun.
and nothing else, which sounds really good. There's 2 endings in the game, and there's a trophy for doing both of them, which is really good. And then after that, it's just like using every single weapon and killing a lot of things with it.
isn't there one for
doing
doing
all
it
the
on the
collectibles.
impossible mode?
There is one for doing it on the impossible mode, which is the hardest difficulty. And it just, the trophies in, like, not that I'm that mad on trophies anyway, but the trophies in recent games have been so fucking easy and so stupid.
Yeah,
That
those
it's just
are
nice to
trophies
see one that's actually, that you have to actually fucking work for it. You know what I mean?
it actually adds like value and something to beating the game again. Like I think
Yeah.
Uncharted 4's trophies were also really good.
Yeah, Uncharted 4 is really good.
Or maybe
But-
it was 3. So I can't remember.
I would rate Dead Space also a 9 out of 10. My only criticism would be it's a bit repetitive towards the end. Because it is literally, okay, you've repaired this, Isaac. Well done. Now we can escape. Oh, this has gone wrong. Now you have to go and repair this. And it does that about 10 times. And you're like, fuck, I am so fed up of fucking repairing this shit by the end of it.
POV,
And,
it's just all of Factorio. Great, now we can escape the... Oh no, all the conveyors are gone.
Literally, it's like that. And you're like, oh, fuck's sake, again. And it just does get that little bit too much repetitive.
So when are we going to have the Factorio special, though? I just want to know.
We
about
do need
that.
to
Like,
do
when
that.
we do an
What, a
hour-long
whole
special
podcast on...
where we just speak about
Factorio.
Factorio.
I would
call
rather
ourselves-
die.
We call ourselves the Factorio
Get the gun
Bros.
out of my car and let me kill myself, because
Come
that would
on.
be awful.
The
Fucking
Factorio
game.
Bros.
No, I can't stand that game.
Why don't you like
Um,
that? It's a good idea.
No.
So my
We talk about how
honourable...
brown everything is.
As long as I can shit
It's
on
a
it the
very
entire
brown
time.
game.
So brown.
My only other honourable mention was that I recently replayed through Jedi Fallen Order. Because
Yes!
Jedi Survivor comes out. Well, when we're recording this,
Wow.
it comes out in 3 fucking days.
You
And I thought I need to prepare for this shit. And Aidan and Kieran convinced me to play it on the hardest difficulty, which was so fucking fun. It was unbelievable. I thought it was going to be like as hard as Dark Souls. It's not that difficult, and it's still really good. Really good experience. Hope they fix all the level designing and shit in the new game. Super fucking looking forward to it. I need a poo. So I'm gonna go do that. Take over.
Brilliant.
Okay, so I genuinely haven't played that much because I've been very busy. But just to add to Aidan's GTA, I guess I have been thoroughly enjoying GTA when I have had chance to play it, to the point where I've been playing that instead of playing anything else. Whenever I've been on PC. it's just solid. And I think the thing is, like, it's been so long, out for so long, and yet there's still just so fucking much to do. It's insane. But
really makes you think where they're going to take it with the new one.
It does, and I don't.
Online.
I honestly think if they don't like make just GTA Online its own thing, like how they have with battle royales and stuff, I feel like they're really missing out on something there, because there's been so much like up to this. I feel like with the new GTA, just join it on. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe there's a fucking. You can go to the airport and go to wherever you like. If it's Miami or something.
The kind of issue is right with this.
I don't know.
Sort of thing is the scale of money. Now maybe they're already planning for this, right? But say you kept everything from your current GTA Online into the new game. Everyone who's got a pre-established thing is going to have such an advantage over everyone else that people won't want to start the new one.
Yeah, they like full disclosure. There's no way. Like, surely there's no way they connect them. One purely based on the engine alone is like what they're running the game on is like 10 years old, like 12 years old.
I would say the best they could do is you have to start a new character, but maybe they could port the old map in the new engine.
Yeah, maybe.
So you can still go there, but you won't have any of your existing stuff.
Isn't the game set in like the 90s or something though as well? Like, it's not modern day.
I don't know.
Like, it's set in Miami again, like similar to Vice City or whatever.
Cuba or something, wasn't it? But
and
like
then
flashbacks to Cuba was the rumors.
So we'll see what happens. They can't fuck up any worse than the new Saints Row game, can they? Because that was apparently horrific, according to literally everybody that played it.
I was intrigued because I've not really played Saints Row, and then everyone shit on it, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a miss. But just GTA in general, still super fun, even to this day, which is massive credit to them.
10 years, isn't it?
And the fact they're just adding, don't get me wrong, until we've started replaying it again, I was like, fucking hell, it's still just such a grind though. And it kind of still is, but not as much as we thought. It's just about long-term investing.
It's when we're doing it together, Will.
It is.
You know, like when you buy a forgery business.
Literally, when I really shouldn't have.
It's one of the worst businesses in the game.
I just wanted one, all right? And I wanted one close. And I didn't realize how...
I don't want to out myself as a massive sweat, Will, but I did look up how good some of the businesses
And it's the worst one, isn't it?
Not only is it the worst one, you stand to make... If you buy the resources, so instead of going out and spending 10 minutes collecting them, if you buy them, which are like 75 grand a pop, you only make about 20 grand an hour. 20,000 an hour on that entire business, and that's a real world hour.
Yeah, which makes sense because obviously you buy it and it instantly supplies you with like supplies max, and I went to it and they'd all gone and I'd only made like 20 grand, and I was like, is that just because it's been bought for me, or when I pay is it going to do the same and I'm going to literally make less than I've put in? I don't know.
I think the only good thing is that it ties in with the nightclub stuff, so you can sell it together as one big bundle.
Are we back on GTA?
Yeah, it's partly what I've been playing. So, but I don't know. We still need to do all the heists, and there is plans to stream all the heists.
Well, as I said, we're setting up now. I've still got that agency that I haven't set foot in. I've done the setup, the very beginning setup in the arcade to do the Diamond Casino heist.
Yeah.
I did that on my own. I went and scouted out the Diamond Casino. So I'm basically waiting on whoever wants to play that kind of thing. Like, we can have a crew of minimum 2, maximum 4.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's what.
We need to get back on
count
that.
me in.
I'd play it if I was on at the time, but obviously I wouldn't say wait around for me because I'm only on sometimes.
True. I mean, yeah, like, I appreciate the honesty. Well, think about your candidacy.
But no,
I see that you've applied for a job. Go fuck yourself, Aidan.
Go fuck yourself.
But no, it does feel weird to talk about GTA because it's been so fucking long out.
It's so old.
It's so old, and we're like talking about it now. But
That's what I've just played, guys.
Literally, and it's like
2012 cold. It wants its game back.
Having said that, though, Joe was talking about a game from even longer ago.
True, but like GTA, I don't know. Like I feel like that's different than talking about GTA because it still gets updated now. But it still just feels weird that like
I did talk about BioShock last time, which I think was the oldest.
Yes.
But that also got updated for PS4. So
Did it?
yeah, well, you didn't play it on a PlayStation 3, did you?
Well, no, but I thought it was just a direct port type of thing, and it was like a remaster.
Yeah, it was updated because the original was only in 720p.
Oh.
Other than that, I have played Lego Harry Potter years 5 to 7. There's always
a Lego game on the list, isn't there?
There's always a Lego game. Because I'm slowly getting through them, and it's so good. It's better than the years 1 to 4. It's just a typical Lego game, but I'm trying to think what's different about it, really. But it's just fun. It just looks slightly better. There's not really much I can add because it's just a Lego game.
Fucking brilliant.
It's really not much different to like the other Lego Harry Potter, but the levels I feel like are just better.
Did you review the other Lego Harry Potter on the podcast, or was this just something you did before that?
I can't remember.
The only reason I'm asking is that if it was, just go back and watch the old video and we'll all talk about it.
Yeah, because it is basically the same.
It's the same game.
But
Harry unlearns all the spells.
Yeah, he does unlearn them. He unlearns some of them. But the way they've done like dueling in this game is way better than the first one. It's actually quite cool and fun. But that's quite fun. I'm trying to think. That is literally all I can really say. It's just good. It's just a typical Lego game.
So is 5 to 6 the age of the player?
No,
it's actually how much time it takes to eat the entire disc.
You know, a bit like when you get like a board game and it says like
1
age
to 2 years.
12 plus.
Yeah,
or 7 plus.
Well, I normally, as I say, I get the ones between like 1 and 2 years because I managed to swallow all the pieces in an entire afternoon. So
nice.
It seems a bit silly, doesn't it?
I can't tell if that's a genuine question or if you're just taking the piss. Are you taking the piss?
Yes.
I was taking the piss, yeah.
Fucking bitch. Lego games are for everyone. You're never too old for a Lego game. They're so good. Other than that, I don't want to talk about it again, but I've played more Hogwarts Legacy and it's just getting better and better. We've spoke about it every time. One day, me and Joe will finish this game, but it is so fucking long, and every time I'm on, I'm playing GTA. So it's like
you're playing 2 Harry Potter games at the same time.
I know.
Did you get to that side mission that I was telling you about? That was about the shop.
No, I still haven't got to that.
Fucking hell!
I know. There's so much.
I haven't played it since I spoke to you about that.
And what the issue is,
3 weeks ago,
that's going to even add to the longevity of this is the fact that when I'm now going on holiday for like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, kind of thing. By the time I'm back, I'm going to be playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That I'm committing to that because it's Star Wars. So like, it's going to be even longer.
Everything.
It's going to be even longer.
What's going to happen first? You beat Hogwarts Legacy, or Starfield will be out? No, The Last of Us Factions will be out.
I don't know.
Last of Us multiplayer.
Technically, it's not called Last of Us Factions. Thank you, Neil.
But they didn't even announce a shred of detail about it either.
Well, there's 2 images, and they're
I
like,
genuinely thought after the TV show came out, like, and it was finished, I thought it would be like super quick. Oh, because it's like on the hype of the TV show, isn't it? Like people have gone and played the game that haven't played it before because of the TV show. So I thought they'd be quick on it, but they just haven't.
That'd be so exciting if Doris, age 65, bought a PS5 just to play Last of Us Not So Factions.
Doris, age 65, is watching the Last of Us TV show.
Why not? Why wouldn't she? She's been reading in her Facebook
doesn't seem
groups.
like the target audience, does it?
Just below the My Children in Primary School and right above the like random racist supremacist group, there is a chat group where Doris is looking that says, "Have you checked out the new Last of Us show?" So she goes and watches it. She falls in love with the characters. She's so worried about what happens to Joel after he gets stabbed by a 2-inch thing, and then does the smartest survival move that anybody's ever done and rips it straight out of himself seconds after being impaled.
Fucking idiot.
Good job, Joel. Clearly you've never watched Bear Grylls, you silly prick. Anyway, and so Doris sees that, she watches it, and she's like, "I would really like to play Last of Us Not So Factions." And then I'm there, fucking 360 spin scope, absolutely twat that bitch. see me moving. She sees an NPC fires upon her. Next thing she knows, shiv in the neck. Then a teabag her and walk off and go collect my lifetime supply of Twinkies. Assumedly.
100%.
I don't know what's in the game. Like, that's the only thing that survives an apocalypse, isn't it? Twinkies and
100%.
cockroaches.
That's the Zombieland.
Yeah.
I fucking love Zombieland. What a film.
Big fan of Zombieland, me. Except when I watched it.
Have you got anything else to say, Will?
I was just gonna say it's getting better. Other than that, I'll be playing an actual game next month that I'm actually gonna finish, so I can talk a bit more.
Last of Us. Fuck me.
He's got it on the brain.
Jedi.
I don't know, because apparently it's a lot longer than the first game. So
Well, the first game wasn't that long, so
no, but it was 21 hours to 100%. Like after I'd played it
to
3
100%
times.
a game, that's short as fuck.
I know,
Like-
but like I'd played it 3 times, so I knew where majority of shit was. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
and I'm definitely gonna take my time with it, like as I always fucking do with, but especially because it's
Anything.
again Star Wars.
Yeah, it's always
So
it's always
it's-
like that with games though. If you have to just beeline it, it's like Uncharted 4. I remember there was an achievement just for beating it in under 6 hours,
Mm,
which you could do fairly easily just by easy difficulty, just fucking run and shoot, and it was relatively easy. But if you play it the first time, it was like a 15 to 18 hour game.
yeah.
Mm.
But other than that, no, that's kind of just what I've done. This isn't the question, by the way. But I did want to know, because you all said it, not remake, but what game would you like remastered?
I think
Not
we asked this
remake.
question before, haven't we? I think.
I think
remastered,
remake would be
not remake.
preferred. No, I
Yeah,
think the other way around. Because
Why if
remake,
you
Remaster
just
is
want
just
this-
putting it on.
you could just polish something, couldn't you? You could just
All
make
right,
it look all
remake
shiny.
then. What remake? Let's do remake.
From the ground up, a remake.
Genuine.
Bionicles and the Golden Mask.
Fuck's sake.
Okay.
I don't know if I've loved games that are old enough to want that.
I know exactly what I would pick.
Mm.
Like,
I think.
Oh.
like I've not
Sorry,
played
Deborah.
Dead Space, the remake at the moment, but so I might say Dead Space 2, but then I don't know if I'd rather something different like the Resistance series. I'd love that remade.
To make it more appealing for me, I'd have Max Payne 1 and 2 brought up to the graphical fidelity of 3. I
Yeah,
think
that
that'd
would
be
be
a really cool idea.
Just remake the trilogy and make it a game. That'd be
Oh
cool.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
fucking sick.
To be fair, I think there's a few on my list. Skyrim.
They're just making another Elder Scrolls game though. Just
I
don't worry
know.
about it.
Iron,
But, like,
you can literally just
the-
do that now.
What
The
mod
mod it,
it,
yeah,
so
like,
it's a
just
mod it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. All right then. Well, that was just my off the cuff one.
It's stupid, Joe. Pick a better one.
Red Dead 1 would be.
That would be
Oh,
such a
Red Dead-
solid.
Red Dead Revolver, put it in the canon,
Red
lad.
Dead Revolver.
Today,
Yes.
play as Red Harlow. Oh god, I'd
Yeah,
fucking love that.
both of those games.
Is it
remastered.
actually in part of the canon?
No,
or-
it's not technically canon, but
But
there
would
are
remake it as part.
and there are NPCs in the world that talk about Red Harlow, so it's like it's a real thing. It's a legit thing. Also, on the cover
What
of
time period
that,
is it set?
I think it's just before. It's like just after the Civil War is the first one.
So it would be before.
It would
even
be
Red Dead.
before all of them. That's why there's loads of
2.
theories that are like Uncle is red, but like no one believes it. Because
Oh, that would be
gross.
fucking. So the thing is, you know, that would be such. It's a remake of a game like that is just making a new game.
Mm.
And like, yeah, but that's what would be so cool. And then
Yeah.
I could do all the voice acting for it because I remember all the lines from when I was like 8 and played it like a million times.
Imagine they've lost all the like archive files, but some kid
It's
remembers
just
them all.
me. What are we gonna do? Ah, the train's going to Brimstone. I'm gonna get Brimstone. I could do all of it. And ready to read all about it. New Fair Brimstone's Battle Royale.
It's just
I could
Aidan
be
who does every voice.
person.
The Seth MacFarlane of Red Dead Revolver.
That and also just because I'm a bit of a cowboy stint, Gun made by way back in the day.
Gun.
Was it
Holy
Activision?
shit.
I
Yeah.
know, it was
Also,
sick.
You just saying about you doing all the voice lines made me realise. I'm not sure if you knew this, Joe. but the guy who plays Spider-Man is also a guy who's a lot of the NPCs in like Naughty Dog games.
I didn't know that.
Just the other like soldiers, like when you hear them talking. Because I was playing it, I'm like, this fucking sounds like Spider-Man is coming towards me, and I googled it. It actually is him.
The PS4 exclusive kind of thing.
Yeah, from the game, the guy who plays Spider-Man, who voice acts him, he does just. And when you look through his like list of stuff he's done, he's just done a shit ton of like Guard 1 from Call of Duty, various NPCs from like Uncharted 4. Last of Us, Last of Us Part 2. It's only because I've seen The Last of Us. They updated where they say a lot more voice lines, don't they, and talk to each other. And I just recognise the voice. Yeah,
I think the guy who, weirdly enough as well, the guy who plays Miles Morales in the Spider-Man games is equally in a lot of stuff. He actually plays Sam in Last of Us as well, and that's where he kind of made his debut.
That's cute.
I think it's Sam and Uncharted. Then for some reason, I was like, no, he doesn't. That's
the Miles Morales game is so fucking good.
Yeah, it was really good.
So good.
But yeah, Red Dead would be a sick remaster. But other than
Red Dead Revolver is fucking stunning.
I don't think there's that many games that need a remake. Assassin's Creed 2.
I mean, in a world, no, but like
that has been remade though,
and even then,
that's just a HD thing.
It's not.
Yeah, but do you want it
though.
to be like an RPG, like the new ones, or would you want it to be like the old?
No,
style?
I'd want it to be like the old style, but with like better graphics.
Well, that's what I mean. I feel like
he's talking a game that would like be changed slightly to make it better. Like that's why Red Dead Revolver is a good call. Because I would have no interest in playing the original, but I would play a new one.
This is why I'm going like super far back, because like those games, like Max Payne 1 and 2, and like Gun and Red Dead Revolver, they would be built from the ground up to be like brand new games at a new level. Whereas, like you say, AC1, unless they made it all RPG like, and even then, like I don't want to be like culturally offensive or anything, but there weren't that many big fucking buildings back then in fucking Jerusalem or whatever.
I was talking about Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh, you mean AC2? Sorry, as in like the first of the Ezio trilogy.
But then it's just like you can kind of just play that game now unless you literally wanted it to be a different game.
It holds up.
It does. It holds up.
Doesn't hold up. The combat is so you're just waiting to parry, and that's all.
So
you do.
Play fucking Assassin's Creed 1 and come back. Trust me, it holds up.
You need Assassin's Creed 2 with the new graphics and the Black Flag combat. That's what you need.
Black Flag combat was the same.
That wasn't that different.
It was faster and you could combo it.
That was just Brotherhood, but slightly quicker.
Exactly.
But Brotherhood...
That'd be such a small game. I feel like it is hard for us to say, because I feel like we'd not... Like, me... At the point when I was passionate about games, it was sort of 2007 onwards, really, other than like a few very niche things.
You must have had like a favorite childhood game, though.
Like when I was a child, though, I played racing games. I played FIFA. So both those kind of games already, like, say, I played Gran Turismo. I loved when I played Gran Turismo 7, like last year.
They just get better, kind of thing.
Yeah, because it's just it is the same core game, just more usually. Same with FIFA. No, like it. Yeah, you couldn't dislike or prefer an update or whatever. It's still the same core game. It's not like they never made a new FIFA since like FIFA 11.
I used to play Need for Speed Carbon. That was my.
But they're still making Need for Speed games now.
It's very much changed Need for Speed.
But I tell you what, they're not making Sleeping Dogs.
Oh, that would be so good.
I'm not saying that needs a remake. I'm saying that needs a sequel.
Yeah,
it does need a sequel. So fucking good.
That'd be so sick.
Do you like a pork bun in your hand?
I have got a remake.
No, go on.
Definitely remade. And it's Simpsons Hit and Run, because that game is amazing. I'd love to see. No.
I mean, there's just not a lot to it, is there? Like,
no, but it doesn't need to be.
It was GTA.
But that's what I'm saying. I think they could.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's got the principles,
the groundwork.
That would be like the perfect game to remake. And apparently, it's the #1 game that, like, on a poll thing that everyone wants. Why have they not done it yet?
Controversial. I preferred Road Rage.
Oh, that was just.
Also, I don't actually think a Need for Speed Hit and Run would make that much money. I don't think there's enough to the Simpsons brand nowadays.
Simpsons is still Simpsons was the
Unless they
most
need
watched
to
thing
speed.
on Disney.
Well,
yeah, you did. Simpsons was
well,
the
who
most
made
watched
Simpsons,
thing on Disney Plus last year.
So who made Hit and Run? Was it Nervesoft or whatever? The ones that used to make the Tony Hawk's games. Who used to make it?
I honestly don't know.
Was it Activision? Like
It is an Activision game, yeah.
Because who owns the because obviously they don't own the licensing anymore. So to be able to make
It was
after...
Vivendi Universal Games, which was Radical Entertainment. Let's see who these
are they around anymore? Have they changed
Radical were acquired by Activision in 2008.
Right. So they were just absorbed. Corporate entity bullshit.
Yeah,
don't believe the lies.
Both developers were just absorbed by Activision, and then, although actually Radical Entertainment did Simpsons Hit and Run, Prototype 1 and 2, and the Crash Bandicoot series.
Let's go. It's kind of sick.
Before being bought in 2008.
What a reputation.
There is a guy on YouTube who's literally remade the Simpsons Hit and Run game himself.
Yeah.
And
it's just like it's not like the game though, is it? It's just like it looks like it.
Yeah, I don't like that guy that much. I feel like he's like C tier, and the guy that remakes all the modern games in Lego games, that guy's like A tier.
Yeah,
You've seen him
he's
where he makes
so
like
good.
God of War Ragnarok and shit like that. It always makes me laugh. They look so terrible, but I'm like, look at him, bless him. He's done this in like 2 days.
I really do feel like that game would do well from
100%. Did you actually have on Denver, or like in terms of like a hard remake? I know you said like nothing.
The one that I could think of from like say a PlayStation 2 or earlier era of games I played, because like I said, I played FIFA, played Gran Turismo, and they kind of have been updated. The only other one was James Bond Nightfire, James Bond game.
See, I kind of miss better though. Yeah, I miss the old style of those James Bond games, especially when the Nightfire one came out, and there were like so many different weird ways to do a mission and stuff like that. And but they just never told you about.
Aren't they making another James?
But I was going to say that the Hitman people are making a James Bond game,
yeah,
so I kind of feel like in a way I'm gonna sort of get a new James Bond game. Obviously, it won't be a remake of the original or anything, but I am looking forward to that because I mean they have all the pieces in place to fucking nail that game, which probably means it'll suck. It's like how the fucking DeadSpace remake people are literally making the Iron Man game next. It's like it seems like they should have all the pieces to make it work, but
they probably won't.
Somehow they still fuck it.
I think superhero things are inherently quite difficult to do, just because like you're meant to feel overpowered, but not a villain. So like, you're supposed to use your powers for good. Like the Prototype ones, it makes sense. You're a big horrible monster, like eating people and shit. But like when you're Iron Man, you're like, kill the terrorists with tranquilizer missiles.
It's always the same in the Batman games, though, wasn't it? Right?
That was dumb as hell.
It's the rubber rounds type of thing.
Non-lethal slap rounds.
I'm smacking people into electrical boxes.
You're like, ram him into the fuse box.
You see,
Batman throws him over a ledge, and he's like, I didn't kill him.
I think they also have those pressures of branding, though. Because, like, again, I feel like Marvel could literally just get someone, like Captain America, it just has to be the same as the fucking Batman games. Because they're essentially like, you know what, they go this whole thing of they don't kill anyone. Yeah. They could literally make the same kind of game.
The Mad Max game, but instead of cars, it's just a big shield, and you're just fucking Captain America.
Yeah.
I'd like a remake of that game.
The X-Men Origins Wolverine game.
A remake of Mad Max.
The Wolverine game is being made.
That was so fucking good, though.
Insomniac.
Literally just let Insomniac make the superhero games because they fucking nailed it with Spider-Man. It's so good.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for Wolverine. I hope it's not bad. Like, he's not got all the gadgets and shit. He's just got fists with knives. Like, what are they going to add?
How hard could it be?
I do worry.
I hope it has.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. Because I seem to remember now, I don't know if I've just imagined this, or there was some Wolverine game.
This is what I was about to talk about.
Where you could heal.
Yeah.
And there was like a certain amount you could heal. And if you didn't have enough of that like energy, when you would press the heal button, you would only like it'd still be like half deformed.
Yeah.
And you
Is
would
that
have
the
to,
game
like,
you're on about?
That was X-Men Origins Wolverine game. It was literally the game based off the movie. but it was very loosely based off the movie. And
it didn't have like parts.
I remember
Africa
that being
and
really fucking good. It did have parts.
The beginning of the game starts in Africa for just no apparent reason, and then
you're in the jungle for a big portion of the game.
Nobody says anything about the fact that these massive fire golems come out of the wall as if that ever happened in the movie. It's like, oh yeah, I remember the fire golems part of X.
That was back when video games could just be video games.
Yeah.
With
none of them pansexual video games.
I remember specifically, I couldn't deal with the last boss in that game when you fight Deadpool right at the end, and that was just fucking hard as nails for me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, I was more of a gamer, so I didn't have that problem.
Yeah, but
that was a good question. Well, I like that. I like that wasn't even your question.
No, it wasn't meant. I don't have a big question. So that was kind of just meant to be a thing that was going to go quick, but it went so long and it's been an hour and a half, so maybe we do end it there, unless anyone else wants to ask some or say something.
I'm good.
No, that's fine.
As a multi-millionaire philanthropist on GTA Online now, there are some things that you need to know. Silly, goofy gun. Big fan of that one. You can't buy that in the store anymore for some reason. Don't know why. You can't. It was a good investment when I made it. $500,000 on silly, goofy gun. Puts people down. Makes people look silly and goofy. Thank you.
Nice.
I think I'm probably going to buy a submarine next. Just to park it alongside Will's submarine.
Yes. That would be cool. Submarine Wars.
It's Robot Wars, but on a massive
we
scale.
can't torpedo each other. Except...
Oh!
We could do that in the game
Robot
already.
Wars game. I want that remade.
That'd be sick to be fair. Do you remember that one? The PS2 one where you were the robots. You were like,
yeah.
That was a good game. I remember that.
Toy Story. That would be a sick fucking...
The original Toy Story
Oh my god,
one.
that game was so good. I would love that remastered. When I tried to force you to play it at Denver.
I enjoyed it. It was great.
But the fucking gameplay was so jittery. It was awful. Do you remember? Oh my god. But I would love like them. I think movie games in general were good. Like Revenge of the Sith was really good.
Oh yes.
But I think that's just it's good that you remember it as a kid. If it was a remake,
but then that's why remaking it, like they could do their own. You know what I mean?
But that's just Fallen Order then.
No, well, it'd play like it, I guess. But you play in the actual story. But I don't know. Movie games, I feel like
movie games didn't get a lot of love. Like even back then, they were just cash grabs.
Did you ever play the Wall-E game?
No. Was it terrible?
I remember liking it, but I never finished
it. Did you ever play the Curse of the Were-Rabbits game?
I didn't.
The Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, me neither. I don't think anybody did.
This is a good question for another time. What movies would want as a game? Should we leave it there? Because it's been a long time.
Yeah, go on.
Thank you for anyone
Except
who's
for the fact that I'm a multi-millionaire in GTA Online.
Thank you, Joe.
As a multi-millionaire philanthropist.
Thank you for watching. This video will probably be out very soon. Actually, so,
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.